Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. So in this video I am going to take the AGL Goten that recently got an EZA, and we're going to try him out in the Extreme Super Battle Road Super Class stage. So obviously this is a stage that can be taken on with a Super Class team with one of every single type in it. Obviously that means you can create some pretty strong teams, but that makes the stage equally as challenging. Obviously some teams cope better than most, but it's quite a challenging stage, and it'll be a good measure of Goten's prowess, so to say, or how strong he is. So as you can see, we've set up with a Kamehameha team here. Nothing too crazy in terms of like support or anything like that. It's just basically going to be Goten, pretty raw, alongside obviously a Trunks for support, but we'll get a pretty good idea of what Goten does and how he performs, and yeah, we'll try him out. We'll test how much damage he takes without an item and things like that. Obviously, just as a full disclaimer, you really don't want to ever not use an item in Extreme Super Battle Road. It's really not the kind of content where you want to sit without using an item or anything like that. Using items is almost kind of mandatory, really, unless you have obviously a super strong team or like a whole bunch of units that are tanky or anything like that, and you want to spend hours doing it. But yeah, so we got a pretty good setup right off the bat. Obviously we got Goten pretty set up. He's got 116k defense, so that's obviously really good. And we'll see how he does in this stage, damage wise, defense wise. Yeah, 116k defense is pretty good. He will stack his defense on his super attack, which obviously is going to raise it up a little bit more, and he does have that 20% damage reduction. We do still have an item active, so we're not going to get a full measure of his non-item defense, but we'll get a good idea of just how much damage he takes in general. Obviously Trunks won't take any, he has like 99% damage reduction at this point. But first off, good damage, double supering as well, so we're going to get that stacking, and then we're going to take double digits from an attack. So I think even without the second attack there, the second super from us, we definitely would have taken double digits. So I don't think it's just because of the second super attack, obviously, but I think with an item, Goten's going to be perfectly fine. Please bear in mind, this is a rainbow Goten, so obviously if you do not have him rainbowed, you will have differing results. If you have a dupe or two in him, you shouldn't expect too many different results from a defensive point of view. Most of his defensive stats will be gained on the first dupe and the second dupe. But if you only have one dupe in him, you will see a slight variation, especially without, building into additionals or crits or anything like that. And then obviously beyond that point as well, if you have no dupes in him, you will see quite a large variation, because no dupes generally means that they're missing out on at least maybe 1,800, almost 2,000 defense, which adds up to being quite a bit. Obviously it's something like 18 or 20% on the EZA unit, so it can really add up. It can make them quite a significant amount less powerful, so to say. But yeah, we'll take a look here, see how the units do and everything like that. Obviously again, we do have an item active, nothing wrong. This is Extreme Super Battle Road, and this is the Super Class stage, so we are just playing it safe. We're just trying to see how Goten does defensively with items at first, and then we'll take a risk and just see how he does without them. So it'll be good to see what he takes here. One super attack, taking a super attack back, 42k, so that's nothing really in Extreme Super Battle Road. And if you even have a 55% unit on neutral type attacks, he's not going to take a lot of damage. He's going to be fluctuating between a 40 to probably 80k mark, which in Extreme Super Battle Road is not a lot. If every unit could take 80k on the super, you'd pretty much be more than fine or happy with how they're doing. And taking 40k at 100% after one super only is really good. Obviously before supering you would have taken a little bit more damage, but that's okay. We can't really control all of these things, but yeah. It's not too bad. So that's a little bit unlucky there. That obviously Vegeta decides to get hit by a super attack. So, you know, we will have to, yeah, I mean, we'll survive, but yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But overall, I think so far Goten's been doing perfectly fine. Obviously, defensively, we're just investigating him with an item at this point, but he's done more than satisfactory with an item. He's tanked really well. Obviously, that 20% damage reduction does stack with any damage reduction items we play. So using something like an Icarus, which is usually only a 35% damage reduction, does change. Obviously with Goten it becomes a 55% overall, which is a big change in how the damage calculation is worked out. Just bear in mind that attack lowering is not the same as damage reduction, so they don't stack the same way, but Goten should still be fine pretty much with almost any option that you choose. Goten's not really gonna struggle unless you obviously have him at 55%. Then you might see some bigger damage numbers coming in, but at the same time, you know, it's not the end of the world. He will still be useful. Even without the trunks, I think he will still be useful because his defensive capabilities, only the damage reduction is obviously dependent on the trunks, but you could easily slot a Krillin in somewhere in Android 18. There's plenty of options for you to organize that buff that don't involve having a trunks. His defense will suffer slightly, and so will his attack, but it doesn't mean he's not useful. You could definitely use him as maybe a floater or something, or even in that main rotation. You know, you just have to be a little bit more careful with where you're placing him. But yeah, we're seeing good damage numbers out of him. You know, really solid damage numbers out of him. And we'll use the Vegeta active skill to heal up here. So yeah, let's just take a look. So yeah, pretty good so far. I think what we'll do is in the next fight, we'll try him out without an item, just to get a good look at, well, what we'll do first is, because the next fight is Zamasu and Goku Black, and it's quite tough. They hit very hard. They're like some of the hardest hitting units in the game. What we'll do is we'll run him, use an item, see how he does with an item, and then we will remove items and then just kind of look at how he does without one. It's a bit pointless because obviously you will die if you get supered pretty much, unless he stacked his defense, but I mean it'll be interesting to see, because obviously I know people do like to see that. So yeah, but as always, starting the turn with 116k defense, we have an item active here. Because he's got that 20% damage reduction, packing him with a Princess Snake means we can actually put him first in slot, which does help out because obviously the Trunks doesn't get his full damage reduction until Super. So this actually helps us out in these kind of situations, which is another big perk of how this card is constructed. So there, good damage. Like I say, he's done good damage the whole way through. Nothing wrong with his damage output. He's been hitting really good numbers. Obviously, just, you know, at 55%, those numbers will change. So yeah, but still hitting really good numbers. And yeah, those could go up if we link leveled them. Those would get higher and higher, and we just see very impressive numbers by him. But yeah, I think next turn maybe we'll not use an item, and we'll just see how we go. We are going to Dokkan attack here. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to get it with Goten, just, you know, for the sake of the video, but it's not the end of the world. You know, we've seen good enough damage from Goten that we don't need to see him hit a Dokkan attack, and it wouldn't kill them anyway. They have too much health. There's like a couple units that could one-shot the stage with a Dokkan attack, but they generally need to be critting and hitting, you know, like 8-9 million attack stats and things like that. So it won't quite happen, but yeah, we'll definitely do quite a significant chunk of damage, and I think having Goten would have hit a higher amount of damage. But yeah, we'll just let this turn play out, so to say, and then we'll obviously get a good look at Goten, his defense next turn, without an item. And then yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. Obviously we'll probably die, depending on what happens, of course. But that's okay. We've seen Goten tank excellently with a single item. So we've basically seen everything we needed. That coupled with his 3-4 million attack stat, straight away is great. And I think makes him more than worth it to run in this stage and to see how he does. There's definitely no reason not to take Goten. So if you do have Goten and you've seen this video, maybe you've been on the fence, should I do Goten? Should I raise him? Should I raise his SA? Should I awaken him? Yes, the answer is yes. You should be doing that, and it's definitely worth your time. So obviously here, we will just not have an item active. So we'll see how much damage he takes. He has stacked, so he shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. So double digits, very good. Super attacks, 4 million almost, really good. Obviously double digits after, maybe we can get super attacked, it would be nice. But yeah, but the fact that he's tanking double digits really goes to show how powerful he is as a card, because very few cards, I know he's got 1 turn of stacking, but even very few cards at 100% can take that kind of damage. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. I think we've seen enough here. So let me know in the comments down below how you are finding the videos, and yeah, leave a like if you're enjoying your time with Goten. But that's going to be it from me, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers and bye.